All right, welcome to Live, Lead, and In Between, a podcast for leaders who want to be better at leading life and everywhere in between. My name is Travis Jones, and I'm the host for this podcast, so let's get after it. Well, it is good to be back. I've been out of the game for a little bit. I put out some episodes, some recordings that were done of a men's retreat that I had been able to speak at, and that was kind of my way of putting stuff out. I Something happened back in February that caused me to actually lose my recording space. So I was trying to figure out what to do about that in general and how to go about recording going forward. And just be honest, I had to give one of the kids a bedroom. So I lost my office with that. So I've been trying to figure that out. I kind of think I figured it out. So we're going to try this for a little bit. I'm kind of have more of a mobile setup for my recording. So we'll see how it flows out. I'm actually recording outside right now if you're watching this, so you may catch the occasional car traffic. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. It'll kind of hopefully level out with that. So the content for this episode is actually the content that I wanted to do back in February, and again, the thing that happened kind of prevented me from doing that, and so I thought I would revisit it today. And what kind of spurred the content for this episode was I was watching a couple of videos or clips of the anti-ICE protesters. I believe Minnesota is where it was happening, and I watched some of the police officers and ICE officers. I watched one of the two of them. Like there was only two. I watched one of them actually throw a flashbang, and kind of a crowd dispersal type thing. And then I watched a lady in the clip. She picked up the flashbang. Now, if you don't know what a flashbang is, it is something that makes a loud boom and also a flash. It can be used to disorient, crowd dispersal, that kind of thing for both military, paramilitary, police forces, things like that. But anyway, I watched this lady on a video pick up the flashbang and go to throw it, and then the flashbang went flash and bang in her hand. And of course, there was all kinds of drama that ensued. And I thought to myself, well, how stupid is that? You picked up something, number one, that was going to explode, and number two, now there's consequences that go with that. But as I was thinking about that, I thought, well, this can completely relate to leadership, and it can completely relate specifically to the people that we lead, because everybody knows somebody who has a flashbang personality, I would venture to say. I know a couple people that have that flashbang personality, so I thought, what better way to explore that topic than to equate it to a personality and then turn around and look at that personality and ask, well, how do I handle a flashbang, right? How do I handle the type of people that when they get triggered, they lash out like a flashbang, full of light and sound, but no real substance. How do we engage with people in a healthy way, people like that in a healthy way, and why? So I came up with my thoughts. I had a couple thoughts about that. And the number one thing I thought was, don't be afraid. That's number one. Number one is don't be afraid, because when you're afraid, it kind of you give power to the other person, and you give, or whatever's operating in that. So number one is don't be afraid at all. A flashbang is just that. It's full of light and noise and has no real substance to it, and it's designed to disorient and distract. So if you're dealing with a person that has that kind of um, attitude, that kind of personality, that kind of thing that happens when they get triggered or rubbed the wrong way, the number one thing is don't be afraid. Don't walk on eggshells around people like that. Don't. Because when you walk on eggshells around people like that, all it does is keeps the behavior going. You have to be upfront completely. And the next thing that I begin to think of when I begin to think about these flashbang type situation with people is, not only do you not need to be afraid, but also truth. Always truth. Anytime I've ran upon or come upon someone that has that kind of thing, where they're like boom, flash kind of thing, when they get rubbed the wrong way, I confront them. I do. I confront them in love, and sometimes that goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But the answer is always truth. Always. You always confront them. Say, this is what's going on right now, and I don't know if you realize this, but this is what just happened. Sometimes they don't even realize it about themselves. Other times, well, other times are other times, and it can go sideways on you. But still, don't be afraid. The truth is always the truth. Secondarily, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. When you take the bait, you wind up entertaining things you should not entertain. I have been driving down the road, and I've had an encounter with somebody who that's been riding with me that has this kind of flashbang tendency, and either I've been tired or something like that, and I've had my guard kind of lowered with things. And when I did that, um, there was an eruption. This kind of again flashbang, and I took the bait and reacted, and all it did was create and cause more issues. Um, you want to be quick to listen when the flashbang goes off and slow to speak. That's James 1:19. Quick to listen, slow to speak. Because if you are not quick to listen and slow to speak, well, then you just added you added fuel to an already burning fire. You're now engaged as a part of that whole flashbang thing. So one last thing I've noticed is that people who have this this flashbang personality, um, if they get super unhealthy and they're also aware that they have the ability to they can pop like that, then what they will do is they'll start using it and trying to manipulate it. Try and what am I trying to say? They'll use it to manipulate a situation. You'll have something happen and they will explode and try to induce fear in you, and then at the same time try to intimidate you with that explosion, knowing what they're doing, only for you to find out later there's no substance to what they're bringing to the table. And so if you know that right off the bat, you know how to handle it, you know how to react to it. So um, anyway, so this is going to be a short one. There's going to be more to come. Again, I wanted to test out the audio, see how it worked on this, and a couple other things. So if you like the podcast, I'd love for you to click like, subscribe, all those things. If you don't, then cool. No harm, no foul. But there'll be more things to come, and there are going to be things still geared toward the realm of spiritual warfare, things like that, because that's where I'm still steeped in, because I'm developing a class right now about that. So there'll be more to come, but until then, lead well in everything you do. Be blessed.